How could he do this?
And red and blue is just such like a superhero color scheme, you know, like Spider-Man has it, Superman has it, Wonder Woman has it.
Not many people know the reason, but actually it's because they put it on him.
August, a name commonly associated with the 8th month of the year and the nephew of a salad. This August, however, we are talking about today, is an artist of no notable notice. Unfortunately, that's my ex's room. Unfortunately, he is known for nothing, absolutely nothing, except for one thing: a red jacket. Why commit this crime upon fashion day in and day out? We do not know, but again, we do know at the same time. But before we get into that reason, let us find what his peers and friends, of which we asked without his permission, what they believe.
How could he do this? He does this every time. How much did he pay you? How much did you pay you? What jacket?
Hey guys, Markiplier here. If I'm gonna be honest here, no, real honest, that shit's blue and that shit's red, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so my theory on why the hoodie is, you know, we all know that he loves superheroes, and red and blue is just such like a superhero color scheme, you know, like Spider-Man has it, Superman has it, Wonder Woman has it, Captain America has, there's a lot, probably a whole bunch more, and, you know, it might be because of that, but also, I'm thinking back to like childhood, like maybe something in his childhood, like, made him really connect to those colors.
I always thought those were the only two colors you could see. Like, some kind of colorblind, you can only see red and blue. Is he not colorblind?
So a lot of people ask why August never takes off his red hoodie. Not many people know the reason, but actually it's because they put it on him as a baby and he hasn't been able to take it off since then. So, yeah.
And when I think of childhood, I think of like Sesame Street and stuff like that, all right? There's like, maybe he like couldn't choose between like, which character do I support? Like, do I wear red for Elmo or do I wear blue for Cookie Monster? You know, trying to pick a favorite color. And he couldn't decide. He was like, I can't choose between these two.
Steve, you're my agent, not my decision maker. I don't understand why I need to be a part of this project. I want to be a part of this project? Tell me why I need to be part of this project or why I want to be part of this project. Who? He got who? What the f***?
I mean, what's up with this guy? What's up with this guy? I don't know. Nobody really knows, to be honest, that he really just does his own thing.
As NPC as it is, it's very NPC. I question your fashion choices, but
I think the main reason that he wears that jacket is because it's comfortable. And there's probably no actual meaning behind the fact that it's always blue and red. Definitely no intention behind it.
So, I remember when I was in private school, I was talking to this girl, and I was talking about my brother, and I said to her something like, "Oh, my brother's name is August." And she looks at me and she goes, "Oh my god, August Thompson? He was in my chemistry, he was super helpful." And then she turns to the friend next to her and she goes, "Don't you remember August?" And the other girl goes, "No, who's that?" Same girl, she goes, "Don't you remember he was always wearing the red jacket?" And then the other girl, it immediately clicks for her. She goes, "Oh my god, Red Jacket Kid." Apparently that's what they used to call him back then. Anyways, and then the other girl immediately after that, she goes, Wasn't he so stupid? Okay, that last part probably didn't happen, but it could have. It very well could have.
We know nothing about August's early life except for the fact that we know everything about it. So, we must establish some context before we get into the meat of the story. First, the MCU was just beginning in 2008, and due to the success of Iron Man, there was a new cartoon established, Iron Man Armored Adventures. Another fact is that, you know what, why don't we just ask August himself for this interview that we sprung upon him? Yeah, please, sit down. Yeah, thank you. Oh, very good. Today we are seated with one August Thompson. Hi. Oh, yes. Very nice to have you.
No, thank you, I guess.
Where is everybody? What do you mean?
I didn't ask that.
Oh, there's no... It's because my whole production company has left me now.
I'm sorry.
I suppose it's time to get into the hard-hitting questions. Don't you agree? That's very good. First off, there are rumors, if not facts, that you are a lifelong Spider-Man
I mean, that is
fan. Do you have anything to say to those claims?
Like I said, that is a fact that just
Very
made the whole
good.
video.
Now, does this lifelong obsession have anything to do with your color scheme that you are wearing today?
I mean, I'm sure it does. I obviously it doesn't, but like, I'm sure it does influence it on a
Enlightening.
like a big.
Are you aware that you're committing major fashion crimes against my eyes by simply wearing that jacket?
I think that's just your opinion. I think this is.
Oh, good, because you are. Anyway, I've got another question.
I'm sure you do.
Did you know your jacket was a safety blanket when you keep wearing it? Or was it something more subconscious that why you kept wearing it?
I'm just gonna say.
No, that question did make sense.
I disagree. But yes, I did know that this was a safety blanket. I always thought of it. I zipped it up, I put it on.
Once more.
Even during hot
No, please do that.
classes for like presentations and stuff. So
I see.
yeah, it's always just kind
That
of
was always in the back of your mind.
yeah.
Very
that's what I'm
conscious.
trying to say.
You
but
say.
you're cutting me off.
Very good, very good.
Okay.
Did you know we contacted your friends and asked them about why you wear the big jacket?
I feel like that goes against something.
Well,
I
they
just-
they all said yes to the offer, and you paid them nothing in return,
Well,
other than
that's
to
just
get
not
their
fair.
piece out
A
on
piece?
you.
What did they have to?
Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, gee golly, you're reacting far worse to this news than I could have ever.
I think you're blowing it out of proportion. I'm
Guys,
just kind of used.
How's it feel talking to yourself even though there's nobody in front of you and this is all an edit?
What?
Thankfully, the historically irrelevant artist has supplied us with almost a timeline in the illustrated format. The year is 2011 to 2012, or for August 3rd grade. As we can see by this bald-headed ugly child, August had moved to a new school. A school filled with other little ruffians with more hair on their head than he had. This lack of hair created a bit of envy and concern for his social appearance. This concern manifested in the creation of a safety blanket in the form of this blue flannel jacket. It's a button-up, but not as refined as my button-up. August would have seen Iron Man 2 by now, which would be his first MCU film. This film would be instrumental in the way that he fell in love with more characters and design aesthetics. Another big thing would happen in the 2011 to 2012 year. Minecraft. I don't know if you've heard of it, but Minecraft would take August by storm. The name Big Hammer X and eventually Bread and Butter would be developed in this 1 year alone, although Bread and Butter would be saved for much, much later. The development of this first safety blanket of the blue flannel variety would be carried into the next year. That would be 4th grade. It would be very similar, same brand, same company. Although this time it would have a hood, and an appreciation for hoods would develop at this time. Another major difference was it was white, grey, and red. These would be the colors of a video game that August would become quite obsessed with, and his future endeavors of design would be inspired greatly by this game. The game would be Assassin's Creed. Now, between these 2 years, many things would happen. The first would be the discovery that in Minecraft you can change your skin to whatever you may want it to be. This discovery manifested in the very first skin presented here. As we can see, it's quite similar to the normal Minecraft Steve, although this time it has a red shirt and a whacked out face. This would take major inspiration from the teenage design of Tony Stark in Iron Man Armored Adventures. Although this doesn't take much besides the red shirt, it would be developed further in the next iteration, of which has been lost to time. But as we are so lucky, August decided to make a skin for his brother as well, only using green and light blue. From future iterations of these skins in Minecraft, we can assume that his own skin would be red in the shirt area and darker blue in the pants. By the time August was in 5th grade, Assassin's Creed would have its dual hidden blades deep within his brain. So much so, by 5th grade Halloween, he dressed up as Connor Kenway from Assassin's Creed 3. This costume had to be homemade, and this would be the beginning of the custom jacket craze. Without this one costume in the back of his mind, the concept of making his own jackets wouldn't even have crossed it. His mind is so feeble in that capacity. Upon entering the 6th grade and carrying throughout his middle school career, he would be introduced to a fleece jacket from North Face. This jacket would heavily inspire future jackets due to the fact that he loved this fleece jacket so much. His only complaint about these jackets was that they weren't red. It wouldn't be until the 7th to 8th grade year that North Face would release an orange version of this fleece jacket. Eventually, at one point during his 8th grade lunch, August was all alone, and he decided to draw himself. This drawing would be important for numerous reasons, but this would be the first time he designed his own jacket. As we can see in this first initial sketch, very important to the rest of his artistic career, we can see that the inspiration comes from all previous iterations of his self. Over here we have the colored version, one of the first digital pieces as well, going with this striped look. Interesting choice, young man. This first completely unique design would bleed into the rest of August's life from here on out. He pursued this new jacket he had designed, looking anywhere and everywhere for something similar, or maybe the real thing. He thought perhaps someone had designed already what he sought. Eventually it turned out that North Face had a custom jacket, of which he created, and we can see here. He still wears this jacket to this day, but there was a problem. It was too thick, it was too big. It just simply wasn't easy to to wear around day in and day out. He lived in a warmer environment, and this jacket was not made for such. And so, there came another problem he had to solve. By this time, August had begun to pick up different hobbies like cosplay. He became quite familiar with the human form in terms of how it was dressed and how everything worked. And so he thought back to the days that his mother helped him make an assassin's costume. It was quite the same thing, he thought to himself. A hood, a jacket. I mean, that's all he wanted at the end of the day. So he asked his mother at this point, when he realized he could no longer stand how hot that North Face jacket was. And so his mother said yes, and from there it became a lifelong obsession or addiction, depending on how you see it. After much trial and error, the two would eventually make the original red and blue jacket. This jacket was simple, taking huge inspiration from those previous North Face jackets with a blue tech fabric at the top, red fleece, but the addition of a hood instead. It was lighter, it was easier to wear, and it was trimmer. August loved it. He wore it every day, but at this point he had opened Pandora's box, and now he was in rapid pursuit of creating more. More and more designs came to his brain, and he started drawing them out, trying to come up with something new each time. The second jacket wouldn't be as cool. He simply added grey panels to the sides. It was unknown. No, I don't think anybody really thought it was interesting. I'm gonna be honest here. But that's not the point. He was starting to truly pursue his fashion instincts. At this point, COVID would hit, and thus his whole world would seem to shatter. COVID hit August hard. It hit his designs even harder. He decided to break away from the almost copy and pasted North Face jacket design. He decided to go more original, taking bits and pieces from all media and sources he'd seen throughout the years. He developed something he called the asymmetry jacket. Not a very creative name, I'll give you, but it was completely different from the jackets beforehand. This one, the blue on one arm, black on a panel on the hood, was completely different, and he fell in love with the design immediately. But this jacket was darker, sleeker, more angular. There's a bit of anger behind it, and so from here he stopped designing. He couldn't think of something to top it for years. It wouldn't be until the end of his freshman year that he even thought of a design to rival the asymmetrical jacket. Inspiration would strike while watching a Project Runway clone show. He decided to go with a design that had a sash or a stripe or something going across the whole thing, keeping with the asymmetrical design, this time having a carry-through element, no symmetry in the paneling, complete asymmetry. And he wanted to do something he hadn't done before up to this point. Construct it alone, seeing as every time he said that he made the asymmetrical jacket, or frankly any jacket beforehand, he always credited his mother, and he wanted to break free of that. Unfortunately, that came at the cost of the twins. They were too wide and unable to be salvaged due to the fact that the zipper needed to be taken in, but that would ruin the design. You've heard from us what we think, why he wears the red jacket, how much it hurts my eyes every time he wears that abysmal thing, and yet We never sat down and asked him straight up what he thinks. So, we found him again, broke into his little studio area, and forced him to answer the question.
Why do I wear the jacket? Why did I make it? It's gonna sound a little, I don't know, stuck up, I guess. But in the end, it was individuality I wanted. I felt everyone was getting lost in the crowds. I went to a very big school, 2 very big schools. My middle school was huge. My high school was huger. And everyone was always wearing dark grays, blues, and greens, and it just kind of faded away. Now, I had always had this idea for the jacket freshman year of high school, but when I made the first one, like, not just the North Face, the custom, that one, like, sure, that was nice, but that was only just the start of it. But when I made that first one, the very original homemade jacket, and I walked around, I felt truly individual and unique. I don't know, I felt almost vindicated, like I existed in a way. I don't know if that makes sense or anything. I wanted to be able to have something and say like, oh, this is mine, I made it, because I was really getting into art, and I thought it was really cool to be able to wear your art, which is why I like making costumes. Truly, at the end of the day, it's because I got to be myself, and I got to show what I looked like, what I envisioned I looked like. And that's why that first drawing is so important. It's because I drew myself. I didn't draw a life. I didn't draw from life. I drew what I thought I looked like, or what I wanted to be, who I wanted to be. And I think I've achieved that.
Thank you for joining me on this journey of irrelevant history. My name is Septermberousstein-steen, and our next episode will contain information upon coal. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more irrelevant history. And until next time, it doesn't matter.